information. What you're seeing here is critical information. This is not something that I contrived or something that I put together out of my own imagination. This is not something that just by coincidence fits. This was done by the elite, was scheduled, orchestrated, perpetrated, and ultimately fulfilled, was acted out, designed. This was by design by wicked men, wicked, evil men. And it simply is. It's just there. Anyone can discover this, can realize this for themselves. This is a game-changing truth, these 2 pages, because if this is true, and this is what they've done, then what else have they done? That's the question. What else have they orchestrated? Where people think that random things like 9/11 occurred because of 19 Islamic terrorists got together and hijacked a plane, 2 planes, 3 planes actually. No, that's not obviously how it went down. This Barack Obama, this man that everybody thinks is just an ex-president, is a very, very important man to those that know. He is a man that is worshipped, that so much so that they have committed sacrifices of humans in his name, in honor of the man. My work on this channel is testament to that fact, to those facts, because it's not just happened once, it's repeated multiple times. When I post something like this and I see no constructive, rational comments, I see a handful of thumbs up and maybe a few thumbs down. It saddens me greatly that there are that many YouTube channels on exposing truth in their own elements. And I have been on the internet since 2014, and not one of the mega channels, I might call them, like we have mega churches, we have mega channels on YouTube exposing truth in various forms, has ever engaged me, has ever engaged this work, these truths. It's beyond my comprehension why this is so. Again, I didn't make this up. This isn't something that CBR channel constructed. This is something that is there, that I found, yes, and I've exposed it. This is what you might say pre-9/11 and post-9/11. Pre-9/11, Twin Towers were built to be destroyed to the number of his name. Post-9/11, it's all orchestrated, scheduled by the number of his name to his 3rd term inauguration, which will take the world by storm, because there's a little thing called the 22nd and the 25th Amendment, which officially stops him doing that. But then yet, when you look at it constructively, the 22nd and 25th Amendment were set up in honor of Barack Obama so that one day in 2020 he would break that legislation. That legislation would be overturned. And yet people still write me and say, oh, he's going to the UN. No, he's not. The most powerful position in the world, and it's directly connected to the United Nations, is to be President of the United States of America. And if it needs explaining again, those two sets of numbers there are extraordinary, because way before 1997 and 2005, which are the starting years for his time in office as a Chicago, Illinois senator and a US senator, those are the two respective times that he was in power for both of those positions. They scheduled it in to the opening of the Twin Towers, to the day that they were destroyed. And if people can't see that that is 1961, then I don't know. That's as blatant as it could be. So, the world pre-9/11, the world post-9/11, and that tells something of the coming dystopian future of America. Can you imagine Barack Obama, third term, what that's going to do? What chaos it's going to bring to the American people? And to shock to the world that this man is resurfaced again. With his own US presidential center in Jackson Park, Chicago. To what extent that's going to be used for his upcoming third term remains to be seen. But if ever there was a great time of great tribulation that you might say is coming, whether that is the fulfillment of what's written about in Daniel and Revelation, I would say it would be the world seeing Obama get a third term, because of the chaos that's going to ensue when that occurs. Why can't people acknowledge truth? That's just my question of the day. New Year's Day there, by Secure Act, was officially brought in post 9/11, where Americans had to adopt enhanced security features such as Europay, MasterCard, Visa, point of sale machines, which at a later date, which we're in now, accepts biometric bank cards, biometric smartphones, which scan your eyes or your fingers for payments. And America didn't have POS EMV machines across the country prior to New Year's Day 2015. Yet Obama signed it into executive action law on the 17th of October 2014, 216 prior to New Year's Day. I've covered this extensively on my previous videos. You would think other YouTube channels, and I could name them, would get on board with this information. But no, I've contacted these other channels, and yet I tell you, they ignore me. No response, no replies. For years, been totally ignored. Just ignored, like as if I don't exist, like this information doesn't exist. I persevere, but I am sick of it, I tell you. Thanks for listening.